All right, I assume I'm starting this at some point.
Yes. Whenever
Okay.
you feel like it. I mean, you
Whenever
can
I
wait
feel
20
like it.
minutes and then do it. Like.
Great. I think that's the plan then. See, I just introed us, and I felt like really about the intro, but the second we start, I'm like, oh no, what if I mess it up? It's like it's not live. You can start over, but still.
I'm leaving this in.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, everyone, welcome to the positive, the negative.
No.
No, negative, the positive.
Yes.
Yay! Welcome to the Negative to Positive Film Podcast, a podcast where two guys talk about movies like they know what they're talking about, but really deep down they don't. I'm Zach, and with me as always is Dante, and I say as always as if we've done this more than once.
We totally have. I mean,
we totally have,
this
yeah.
Has been in the forming for like 2 years.
There is 100 episodes you guys haven't heard, and we've just been building until we feel like we're ready. And today, with this level of unprofessionalism, we feel like we're ready. So,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. So today, Dante's going to start us off because he wouldn't give me the outline, so I have no idea what's going to happen, and he's doing it all for one joke.
It's more fun to keep you in the
yeah,
dark.
no, he's just like we're going to do a podcast.
I could pull out a trailer for a movie from like years ago.
Yeah. See, he goes, oh, we're going to do a podcast. I said, great. He's like, I'm not telling what we're doing it about. I said, fantastic. So I thought we were going to be talking about gardening. I'm very upset.
You should be.
But but why don't you start us off, Dante?
All right, so we're going to jump right into some trailers that have been happening, hopefully since January. I think I got most of them within this first few months of 2018. And we're just kind of going to go through and give a few brief thoughts on whether we're going to think it's good or not. It's not only movies. We're going to have some TV shows in here, too. So, first one came out today as of recording. Hotel Transylvania 3. Aren't you so excited, Zach?
I've seen the first Hotel Transylvania, I think. Haven't seen the trailer. I think Adam Sandler is a vampire.
Is he really a vampire? Right? I don't know.
I think so. I think he is. We're really showing just how prepared we are.
He's such a sad He's just a sad vampire.
Who's playing in this movie? Wow.
Well, I can like pull up IMDb.
Yeah, no, he is. It's Adam Sandler. And it's Kevin James is Frankenstein. I'm actually excited for this. I know that the critics hate these movies for some reason. I really like them.
Well, first of all, they're Adam Sandler movies, and second of all, they're kids movies.
Yeah, but they're so much fun.
Yeah, I was even looking at some other like live action TV shows that have like the same premise behind them. Like they're a little darker, but they're like, let's do a show about a monster kind of having fun in the real world, and make it like kind of a comedy. And it's a really cool concept, and I kind of like it. And I think overall, the Hotel Transylvania films have been pretty good, like kids movies,
Yeah, no, agreed. Cool.
All right, next.
I really don't have much to say about that one. Let's go to the next one. Yeah.
Cloak and Dagger, trailer number 2, technically, but I think it's the first like full-length trailer. Do you know what Cloak and Dagger is?
I was not aware this was a thing until right now.
Okay. It's a TV show about the characters Cloak and Dagger. Do you know who they
are? Yeah, they're like D-list Marvel heroes, if I'm not mistaken.
Cloak is like this black dude that can teleport people everywhere in his cloak, and Dagger is this white chick that has light powers, and they're connected because they're dark and light and everything.
Neat. Will it be good?
It's made by Freeform, or it's being put on Freeform. And I didn't know Freeform was a thing before this, so...
is that a channel?
I guess. I think it's kind of like Adult Swim.
Okay.
It's like an online channel, kind of.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about this. The acting looks fine, and the story is really weird because it's all about, like, we created the... Like there's this weird dialogue over the top of it from some lady, and we didn't even get to see her. And I'm kind of like, she's all like, we're watching them, and one's gonna die and one's gonna live, and I'm like, awesome. I don't care.
Yeah, it's amazing because I'm known for having a strong opinion about everything in the world, and you managed to pick 2 topics already that I have no opinion on. So
well,
I didn't know I could.
I didn't probably have an opinion on.
I didn't think it was possible for me not to care about something, but it's like, Cloak and Dagger.
You in this podcast.
Yeah, I know, it's great. I'm surprised. Yeah, it might be good. Who knows?
Next one. Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Oh, I don't care. I so don't care. I don't want to see this film. I'm like, look, give me Harry Potter 8 or 9 or whatever it is now. I don't want to see another Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, like I'm totally on board with a live action version of like the Cursed Child. I don't even know that much about it, but I'm like, give me that before you give me this. And also, like Fantastic Beasts, the first one was fine. It was fun. I had an enjoyable time, but like it's so disconnected from Harry Potter, like like physically like Harry Potter himself.
Right.
That it's like I didn't care a ton.
Right.
And like it's weird too because like the second one is like Fantastic Beasts, something completely not to do with Fantastic Beasts, you know? Like it's the Crimes of Grindelwald. And like Jude Law is there as Dumbledore, and I'm like,
oh, that's gonna be cool. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Jude Law as Dumbledore. That sounds neat. Johnny Depp as Grindelwald. I'm like, can we stop?
It's Grindelwald because it's like German or whatever.
You can't see me, but I'm blankly staring at your avatar. Like, do I really care?
Get it right, Zach. We're a professional.
No, get out of here. Yeah, super professional. As they can hear us kind of like coming in and out of Discord.
So like, I'm with you, man. Like, I'm not super on board with this. I'm like, whatever. There's some fantastical beasties in the trailer, and I'm like, cool, more fantastical beasties. And also, like, he brings back the New York dude from the first one. I'm like, why? And like, I don't know why Newt's part of this, and I'm just like, why? Although, to be fair, Johnny Depp looks way better as this character in the trailer for this one than he did in the entire movie of the last one.
Yeah, agreed.
But still, like, I just don't know why, and like, it's just a cash grab.
Yeah, I'm done with it already. Maybe if I hear, maybe I hear some reviews. We'll see. Yeah,
we'll see. Next trailer, Christopher Robin.
Oh my god, dude! Why? Why are you doing this? There's a million things to talk about. We're just going to talk about Fantastical Beasts and Cloak and Dagger and Transylvania, and I'm like, oh my god, why these things? All right, Christopher Robin.
It's a classic Disney movie. Come on,
I think Obi-Wan in it. I think I was more excited when I saw the Mr. Sunday movie version of the trailer where Pooh had a bunch of lightsabers. that was awesome. Amazing. I got excited for that movie. I was like, yes, finally, the movie I've always wanted to see. I've wanted to see Ewan McGregor kick the crap out of a stuffed bear forever. That was on my bucket list, which is it just consists of that and actually kicking a bucket at some point.
I'm okay with it because I like as a kid I really liked the Pooh Winnie the Pooh cartoons. And like I like Ewan McGregor as an actor a lot.
Sure.
So I feel like this is going to be a fine family movie.
Yeah.
And I'm curious like what the story is. There was another film kind of like this, but in the opposite direction.
It was with the father. I just saw it actually. I think it's Goodbye Christopher Robin. Yeah. I'm actually interested in seeing this. Honestly, because I enjoyed Goodbye Christopher Robin. In all seriousness,
that wasn't made by Disney though, was it?
I don't think so.
Because like I saw.
I thought it was made by some like small art house company, but I could be wrong.
It was a story about the writer, not necessarily Pooh.
Right. And it was explaining why someone needed why they needed. I'm looking up who made this right now. It had some big name people in it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I recognize the main actor, but like I didn't know him by name.
That's because he's Hux from he is Hux and Margot Robbie, and it's funny because I think in 10 years we're just going to identify actors by what superhero they play.
Yeah, seriously.
Because it's Hux and Harley Quinn. That's what we got right there. So
I kind of want to see Christopher Robin. I'm curious why Ewan McGregor's going mad. Also, he's married to Agent Carter.
Yeah, I just said we got Obi-Wan and Agent Carter. There we go.
Anyway, so
I really like her as an actress. I really like her as an actress. Yeah. I didn't know that, so I'm excited about that.
I'm really excited for Ewan McGregor because like he hasn't. Recently, he's been getting more into things, and I'm convinced that the reason that he's doing so many Disney films recently is so that he can get his own Obi-Wan movie. I'm convinced he's like going to Disney like, please let me make an Obi-Wan movie, and they're like, only if you do these other films for us.
Yeah, I'm convinced of the opposite. I'm convinced that he was offered oogles of money to play Obi-Wan again, and then they were like, but also here's 12 dozen Disney films you're going to have to do for us in order to do that.
Yeah, but
I'm convinced he's kind of like contract stuck
with them though, because like
certainly
time and, like,
you got to watch. He does a lot of art house films and TV shows and really weird stuff. So he loves that kind of stuff.
I need to dive into some of his more obscure stuff, but yeah.
Yeah.
So right into another trailer that you're not going to care about again.
Oh my god!
I could.
Why are you doing this to me?
I could skip.
No, just do it. No, I want to.
Mary Poppins Returns.
Ah!
Okay,
I don't care.
I will say I really like the original. I grew up on that. I think Emily Blunt portrays the character of Mary Poppins really well in like the 2 seconds that she's in the trailer.
Yeah, no, it was great.
She looks really good. I am like confused why it's a sequel and not just a reboot. But...
Yeah, I want. Well, no, I'm actually happy about that. I'm happy that it's actually a sequel. Well, it's partially because they couldn't get the rights because the author hated it.
Didn't she like pass away and now they're like, hey, now we can make movies?
They sure did. Welcome to Disney, everyone. It's a land of magic and also greed, corporate greed. No,
there's a whole movie on why she didn't want to do what they did with.
Save Me, Mr. Banks. It's actually worth watching.
Yeah, I wanted to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm pretty indifferent. I thought that the actor who plays Yondu should play Mary Poppins.
Oh yeah, definitely. That would have been great.
I think
I'm gonna be so happy.
Yeah. Give the men a chance. That's all I'm saying. Let's stop typecasting Mary Poppins as a woman. You know, give a man an umbrella and a skirt. Let's do this up, dude.
Let him be blue. Stop being bluest.
Let him be blue.
All right, so another trailer. This one's from Netflix, but it's Lost in Space. Did you check that out?
Oh my god, dude! What are you doing? Oh. No, I didn't. No.
The bigger name trailers.
See, I'm like, no, I didn't, because I have a life to focus on. Really, Lost in Space? No, I haven't. Or do you mean the reboot with Joey from Friends?
No, I have no idea. I haven't seen either of them.
Yeah. Wait, is that Lost in Space?
And I'm like,
oh my goodness,
the world looks good. All right, next one.
Yeah, neat. Moving on.
Incredibles 2.
Yay! Let's talk about this. I'm really excited for this film.
Dude, I'm so excited.
I shouldn't be as positive I am.
I'm really excited that they're going back to this because it took them forever.
Yeah, I know.
But it's interesting because like so far the story looks like it's very similar to the first one, but
kind of.
I feel like it's different enough that it's gonna be its own thing, and I feel like there's gonna be some twists and turns because Brad Bird's a really good director overall.
Yeah. I think it's really funny how I like the fact that they gave her the shot now to be the hero, and I still think the dad is still the main character. I think it's just seeing him struggle with trying to be a dad.
I love that
and just seeing him. Yeah. I just like he can't handle anything. He's complaining about new math, and I'm like, yay! That's a reference that 4 people will get. So
he's like such a dad though. He's like you see over the course of like 5 seconds in the trailer, he suddenly gets like a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, I know.
The shovel,
immediately can't handle it. And I'm like, that's great. I like this. I'm very, very happy.
Yeah, whereas like in the original, like she's chill because she's the mom, you know. And
right.
And it's still a real family, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
also,
it's great.
They kept the art style really close to the original, and I loved that.
Yeah, it's a little bit updated, and I think you need that. But yeah,
just enough so it still looks good, but at the same time, they kept it in the same style of Incredibles, and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this movie.
Yeah, super excited.
I'm probably
cool. Next
up, I might skip this one.
No, we can't skip. I have to complain about things.
The Grinch.
I'm actually excited about that. No, I'm into this. I think, yeah. I'm not. Okay, I love the live action Grinch. We watched it together, and I laughed like manically, it was concerning.
Because it was boring.
You guys stopped. Yeah. I was like, we should keep going. It was the best movie. It's one of my favorite.
So Jim Carrey, man.
It's one of my favorite guilty pleasure movies. At least
you know it's a guilty pleasure.
It's weird and it's off and has nothing to do with the original film more or less. But I could see Jim Carrey in a green fat suit pushing over kids and fighting with elderly people, and it's great.
What's interesting though is this film looks like a middle road between the original animated film and that one, the Jim Carrey one.
Yeah, and I think the first the animated Dr. Seuss movies have had kind of a rough. I think Horton Hears a Who was great in my opinion. I haven't seen it in years, but I thought it was good. I thought the Thorax was just awful. Is it the Thorax? Is that what it's called?
I'm pretty sure that's like a part of an insect, dude.
I'm aware, but I'm wondering if what's it called?
It's the Lorax.
The Lorax. Ah, there we go. So I was watching the Thorax, and I don't like it. You know, it was like
pushed to like save the trees.
Right, but the original one was actually really interesting in that it raised an interesting question without giving an answer. It just says, you know, like,
you mean like
here's industry. There's in the book, in the animated version as well, like the hand-drawn animated version. The question was, it was the idea of too much of a good thing either way. It was because he was doing all these industry things, but also if he didn't, you know, they was talking about like, what do you want me to do if I stop? These people will lose their jobs. This is their livelihood, and it's a question of, you know, not just saying, oh, all corporations are evil. It's like it's a necessary thing, you know, but you can't go too far with it. So it was an interesting question, you know.
Yeah, but then the film was like, trees
are good. Industry is bad, and we're gonna sell you bald air, which I was like, I would buy that in a heartbeat.
All right.
So those people look like they were having fun. The Thorax is done. Let's go on the next thing.
All right. But like back to the Grinch. Did you think you excited or?
Yeah, I think so. I would watch it probably.
Yeah. I'm also confused because I don't know like if anyone has the rights to the Dr. Seuss people or properties, because Blue Sky did Horton Hears a Who. And I like Blue Sky overall as a company, but then the Grinch is being done by Illumination, so I'm like, huh.
It might be that it might be someone owns the Grinch specifically, because I know, was it Sony that released the original Grinch, the live action?
I think so. Maybe it was either that or like Paramount.
I'm looking it up right now.
But yeah, like it might be that kind of thing where it's specific characters.
Yeah, agreed.
Because I think a large part of why Horton Hears a Who was so good was because it was Blue Sky, because they did like robots and stuff, and usually I like their movies.
I'm looking it up right now. Cinematography was done by Don Peterman, so congratulations to him. You did good.
Good.
It was Universal Pictures, and they owned Cat in the Hat as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So,
but
yeah, interesting.
Universal is connected to Illumination, so that makes sense.
Okay, cool.
All right. So next trailer, another movie you're not going to care about. Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Oh my god. Oh, I like Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, but like, have you seen the trailer for the second one?
No.
It's like,
no, yes, I have. They go to the internet. They're like, we're in like the internet now, and it's like,
internet references, and I'm like,
dude,
this is all internet references.
Dude, it's the Emoji Movie 2.
I know. I'm like, what?
I'm so excited now. Oh, now.
I don't, because like,
dude, freaking emote. No.
The original Wreck-It Ralph was such an interesting concept because, like, I didn't really watch a ton of the, like, promos leading up to it, so I didn't really know, like, what it was, but once it came out, I watched it, and I was like, that was a really cool, like, heartfelt character story. And it was really interesting that they did that within the context of video games, because everybody expected it to be, like, a terrible video game movie, you know? So, I'm, like, curious, are they actually going to make Wreck-It Ralph 2 a good movie, like, in the same way that the first one was? Because what are you going to do with that character now? Right.
No, I want Emoji Movie 2. That's what I want. No, I don't want a spin-off, and then I want them to connect. I want an animated universe.
See, I just...
of just, like, wildly varying qualities of film. Yeah, like, just, like, some of them are just masterpieces, like the Emoji Movie. Some of them not so good, like Wreck-It Ralph. And I want them to connect. You know, I want Toy Story to get in there. You know what
I want?
I want Rebels. I want Star Wars Rebels, which just ended recently. I want them to come in there, you know. It's gonna be great.
I just want Patrick Stewart as the poop emoji to show up in Wreck-It Ralph 2.
I want Patrick Stewart as the poop emoji and Patrick Stewart as as himself. No, as what's his face from Star Trek?
Picard.
I want them to meet, and I want them to have a deep philosophical conversation.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Next movie.
Okay.
A movie that potentially you don't care about. Ready Player
One, of course.
Which comes out, I think, is it this week or next week?
It's one of these weeks.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so I might be, and in case it's not obvious, we really like the Weekly Planet. I think we're both big fans of them.
Yeah.
So I've been following Mr. Sunday Movies, and I'm having a really tough time, like, separating his, like, aggressive indifference towards this film from myself, because I didn't even know this was a film. When I heard about it, I thought it was like a theme park or something. I'm like, all right, this looks fine. And then it's like, it's a film, and I'm like, Okay, and
Yeah,
I have
a Spielberg film.
It's a Spielberg film, but Spielberg's films haven't been great recently.
Like I think that his best recentish work was Tintin.
Was Jaws? Yeah, I agree. So, no, my thing is, I think I don't like CGI characters in general. It looks really CGI and it looks like it's references, which
yeah, okay, like something else from the Weekly Planet. Mason read it and he was like saying like what the book was because this is based off like a young adult novel.
Yeah.
Like, the book is just like a list of references, and I'm like, if that's what the movie was or is, I'm gonna be like so incredibly bored because it's like references are cool to a point, but when the reference is the movie.
Right. And I mean, even for me, I'm really done. I never got into the whole young adult. Even when I was a young adult, I never got into the young adult genre. Hunger Games and Divergent and Maze. I know you like Maze Runner. I don't like Maze Runner. I never got into that.
I like the Maze
couldn't care less.
The movies are fun.
Twilight's great, but other than that, hated all of it. So
you guys should have seen like his Twilight phase.
I'm Team Norton. Is that a team? I'm Team Norton. I choose him or her. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
I'm interested too because like early screenings say that a lot of the film is good, but at the same time nobody can trust early screenings. So
no, because yeah, absolutely, yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty indifferent. Well, I probably won't see it.
Do we have to see it now that we're doing
unless you make me now that we're doing a podcast? You say you have to see it so we can talk about it. You might, yeah. Don't
talk about that.
We'll talk. Yeah,
because the next film I'm gonna mention is also coming out sooner. It's coming out this weekend. Pacific Rim Uprising.
Yay! I don't care what it's about. I'm gonna go see it, man.
Dude. Okay.
Dude, no. Listen. Robots fighting monsters. I don't care. It doesn't make sense. Well, the acting isn't good.
It looks like this one's got robots versus robots too.
I know. I'm very excited. Look, as a kid who grew up watching Power Rangers, I don't care what they're fighting about. It's like we're fighting for justice. Couldn't care less. Fight a monster and I'm gonna watch. It's gonna be great. I saw them pick up a tanker ship last time and use it as a baseball bat. I'm in. I like this. I'm really, really excited. So yeah.
I'm not.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Shut up. I'm trying to make my point. This is a two-person podcast, Zach. I was like, when I watched the first one, and granted I watched it a while ago, so I can't remember, but like even a while ago, I thought that more movies were good than are. I thought like every movie was great. I watched Pacific Rim and I was kind of indifferent, and I forgot most of it. And like seeing like a recap and whatever, I'm just like, it's I was kind of bored. Like that kind of action is in so many other things that are better that for me I was like, I'm bored, you know. And so like with the second one with like John Boyega as Idris Elba's son, I'm just like, why should I care?
you have you ever been friends with someone for a long time and then they say something that just makes you question their ability to think as a human being? And also makes you question their friendship. Like, is it really as good as I thought it was? No, you're wrong. No, this is gonna be amazing. This is the best movie ever. I'm so excited.
All right. Next movie. This trailer did come out a little while ago, so
okay.
This is like longer ago. But Venom.
I like Tom Hardy.
Yeah, I do too. I'm just like, I'm confused.
If they're like, oh, there's not a lot of Venom. I've heard on the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates page, and it was like, there's not going to be that much Venom in this movie.
I know. Like,
why? I'm like, I don't want to see white guy running around being sad. I've seen Jason Bourne. I want to see. I want to see Venom. I want to see Venom, and I want to see him eating people. Like that's why we go to these movies.
I'd even be okay with Agent Venom or like anti-hero Venom. You know?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Type thing. But like this movie about Tom Hardy running away from things and eventually he gets like Venom. Is like boring, you know?
Yeah.
It's more just like a movie about crazy Tom Hardy that screams in a machine.
Right. And I'm
like,
I want to see I want to see real Venom. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited for I'll see it. But I want to actually see Venom, you know?
Yeah, and I'm just like, why? And also like Venom looks bad, like he looks like from like the little shot we got in the trailer, he kind of looks like Spider-Man 3 Venom. Wait,
we saw him in the trailer?
Yeah, he's in a vial.
You mean like
a vial of
goo,
like I'm just purely talking like the CGI just kind of looks like the CGI from Spider-Man 3. It probably won't look like that, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. It could be good. It could be very bad. So it is Sony.
2 more trailers that you don't care about.
Yay!
The Krypton TV show that's premiering tonight. This recording.
Oh, cool. Care next.
Yeah, I don't really care either. Apparently, it's like the story is Brainiac went back in time to get Krypton, but
Nice.
Adam Strange went back too. But in this continuity, Adam Strange is just a dude that he looks like he's a dude from the street because he's wearing like a hoodie and a baseball cap. And I'm like,
Great.
why do you have any credibility at all? And he also has Superman's cape. And I'm like, what?
Nice. Good. Yeah, because that's what we want. We want more shows where they don't actually give us the main character that we like. We want more shows about the things around. I want more Gothams. I don't need Batman. I want more Gothams. I don't need Superman. I want more.
Have you been keeping up with Gotham though?
I sure have, actually. Yeah.
Because they're getting real close.
Yeah. But also they're getting real goofy. Yeah.
They have been getting goofy too. We'll talk about that later. But I feel like Krypton's trying to be the Superman Gotham, and it's like nobody cares because you don't have nearly as many interesting characters in Superman's past as you do in Batman's past.
Right. I want to see Superman.
Yeah,
that's what I want. I want Superman.
I want to see Supergirl Superman.
He's
great.
He's fantastic. Absolutely.
Anyway, and final trailer before Avengers. Rampage. It's a video game.
Yep. Absolutely. Sounds good. Giant gorillas. It's the same reason I like Pacific Rim. Giant gorillas fighting giant flying wolves fighting giant alligators, and The Rock is there for reasons, so I'm in. Yeah.
Well, in the video game,
I want The Rock to get big. I want giant Rock.
Well, in the video game, the humans become the monsters.
Nice.
And so I'm wondering if like the finale is gonna be The Rock gets it and he becomes like bigger, better Rock. He's like Maui but bigger.
No, yeah, like he gets bigger, but only by like 4.5 inches.
But he's able to like punch the Croc in the face.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, and then he's just like, I'm taller now, and then he just wrestles with things. I mean, I love that movie. That sounds good.
Yeah, I think it looks fun. Plus, like, The Rock looks like he's having fun, and I like The Rock a lot as an actor, but like he always chooses movies that he has fun with, and I think those are always like either disaster movies or the big like Pacific Rim type movies. And I'm totally
agree.
with that.
Have you seen the Jumanji movie that came out?
I didn't. I wanted to, but I didn't.
It's It's on DVD right now. It's freaking so much fun.
Dude, I want to check it out. I've been wanting to, but I definitely will now. It looks hilarious. Like,
it's great. It's like I can't explain how much fun I had in this movie.
My turnoff was Kevin Hart because I saw the first like 30 minutes of Central Intelligence, which was the previous film that The Rock and Kevin Hart worked on, and I got so bored I turned it off.
Yeah, well, I mean, Kevin Hart he's actually really funny given the right script. That's the thing.
But like even like listening to some of his stand up, I don't like his type of humor.
It's funny. Trust me, it's funny.
All right.
Yep. And then if you don't like him, there's
love the Rock's humor though. And I love Jack Black's humor. So I'm like,
there's 3 other characters that make up for his humor if you're not into his humor. So
all right, all right. Cool. We finished trailers except Avengers, but that's
hold on.
Topic, so.
I have some movie news that I want to surprise you with. I'm so excited because you have no idea what's coming. I want you to react to this. It has been announced that Shia LaBeouf is going to be taking on the crazy role of playing his dad in the Shia LaBeouf movie that's called Honey Boy.
What?
Yep.
Wait, is it a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing. The movie's called Honey Boy, and he'll be playing his own dad.
That sounds like a film that like we would come up with as a joke back in college.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, why is he making this his own like?
Well, I mean,
let's see, but like biopic.
Yeah, sounds like it.
My gosh,
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. He'll be playing Jeffrey. He'll be playing Jeffrey LaBeouf.
Why doesn't he just get his dad?
No. You don't understand. Shia LaBeouf is playing Jeffrey LaBeouf. I'm so excited. He's finally playing the famous Jeffrey LaBeouf, who I've always wanted to know more about. My question is, who are they getting to play young Shia LaBeouf?
Dude, I hope it's Shia LaBeouf.
No,
on his knees.
No. I hope it's a kid and they Photoshop Shia LaBeouf's face, his adult, crazy scarred face.
Yeah, they get this kid to put on a mocap suit and it's just and they just make little adult Shia LaBeouf.
I'm so excited. That sounds great. I want the 5 o'clock shadow. I want his
God.
weird, bugged out, drug-addled eyes.
Dude, I
yeah.
just want Shia LaBeouf to play both characters and for the kid to just get on his knees and do a higher pitched voice.
Oh, that sounds great. That sounds better than mine. Now, I think other casting options to play Shia LaBeouf include, for me personally, Tom Hardy, Jack Black, and Keira Knightley. Those are my top 3.
Dude, yeah. I'm really feeling Keira Knightley. You know?
Yeah, me too. You know what? Me too. I think she has the range, and I'm
seriously.
Yeah.
You just
cool.
Have to get her to. She didn't have to cut her hair because you just have long hair, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. He's edgy teams like Shia LaBeouf. Yeah.
All right.
I'm in.
I have some crazy TV show news for you to react to.
Great.
There's a Blue's Clues reboot, and John Cena wants to be the host.
What? That sounds amazing! I'm in.
Also, Steve from the original show has challenged Cena to wrestle for it.
That sounds great. Let's do it. I'm in. 100%. Because I think Steve, since then, he became a drug addict at some point, and then he released a solo album that's actually not bad.
But I thought he left for college.
I'm leaving for college, guys. You also look like you're 35. I'm deeply concerned.
I just find it funny that Cena's doing such weird, all over the place stuff. Like he was in a war movie, and now and then he was in Ferdinand, where he's a bull, an animated bull, and now he's gonna host Blue's Clues.
Hey, man, the guy's got range. He can be loud in Blue's Clues. He can be loud in Ferdinand. He can be loud in wrestling. He's got so much range. I'm ready to see
where he wrestles CGI Blue's Clues or Blue because obviously Blue's gonna be CGI. She's not gonna be 2D anymore.
No, I can't have that nonsense. Yeah, no, I'm in. I'm 100% in.
All right.
I think we mocap it. I think Shia LaBeouf should play Blue.
Yes.
Yay!
It should be him doing the barks and whatever.
Great.
Shia LaBeouf going, woof.
He'd do it. And then maybe the pink one. I don't remember what her name is. Blue's friend. The pink one could be James Franco because he'd also be into that.
Yes.
So, so you could just have set photos of the two of them on their knees in mocap suits, wolfing at each other.
There's also the green dog, and that could be Dave Franco.
I don't think that's real. That's not a real thing. There's no green dog.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay, man, never mind. Make a green dog.
All right. Anyway, so some real news now.
Okay.
Although technically both of those were real news, but some DC news. Shazam, moving on nicely. We have some set photos. We got a logo. And, yeah. What do you think?
I don't like it. I think the costume looks dumb. I think the logo looks dumb. I think they're like, hey guys, look, we're lighthearted. If the whole universe could just die immediately, that'd be great.
Fast track Flashpoint. Come on.
No flashback anything. Fire everyone at Warner Brothers. Burn down Warner Brothers. Someone else get the right. Actually, you know what? Just don't. We were really close to having Batman and Superman become public domain.
Seriously?
Yeah, they pushed it back another 20 years.
Dude, why?
Because they can make all the money with them.
Films about these characters are better than the movies.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So now I'm done with the whole DC universe.
Yeah, I think the point with this one is that it's supposed to be a child's vision of the ideal superhero. So this is their way of being hey, so Man of Steel was dark, but this is the ideal Superman, and he's supposed to be comic booky and fun, and that's why in the logo the weird CGI words are all blocky and comic booky and everything. So I think that's what this film's gonna be, and I don't like it. I think it's gonna be just boring and childish and not childish in a good way, because you can do childish in a good way.
Yeah. It's like subpar Marvel. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be Marvel, just not. It's like what Justice League was. It's gonna be Marvel not done as well as Marvel can do things. And I'm I don't want to see that. I don't care. I'll just watch Marvel.
Yeah. It's whatever.
Who cares about Shazam? It's and I mean, the DC universe is just bad.
Yeah, the only good one is Wonder Woman,
and Wonder Woman isn't that good.
It's not great, but it's definitely better than other ones.
It's the best.
I actually like Man of Steel.
It's the best technically speaking, but I've never seen a movie where I've had such an unlikable main character. I don't know what they were thinking, honestly, when you have a main character who talking down to the audience the whole time and to people like, oh, you're not worth saving. Yeah. And I'm like, oh boy, this is a great hero, man. I really, it's like, this is so dumb. And then the CGI was bad. I'm like, honestly, I mean, I view movies differently than most people in that I really view it in moments, standout moments. If there's some standout moments, I kind of forget the bad stuff pretty quick. I honestly thought Batman v Superman at least had some cool moments, and I never had that with Wonder Woman, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's not really any standout scene besides like that time that she's going through the town and she like flips the tank and stuff.
That is cool, yeah, and actually that's the most, I think out of all of it, that's the most actual practical effects they have, you know?
Yeah, it was
where awesome. A lot of the action is there.
In that building, taking down those guys.
Yeah. I don't think it compares to the Batman warehouse scene at all, and I think it's still pretty generic action. I think actually the better scene out of all of that is her walking across No Man's Land.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's the cool scene in that movie, and it's a good one. It's probably the best one out there. It's probably one of the best scenes, but still, other than that, it's a pretty lackluster movie. Got way off topic. So that's my little.
Of Wonder Woman, I do have Wonder Woman news. So
oh god,
totally off topic. Kristen Wiig was cast as Cheetah in Wonder Woman 2.
Good.
I don't think anybody cares.
Nope.
Right.
Yeah, she was the weird one in Ghostbusters. Neat.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I don't know, DC's weird because like they're still claiming that they're doing all of these various movies, and I'm just
they're not.
They're
no.
Not. They're gonna fail at Shazam, and they're gonna. I think they're fail at Aquaman.
Oh yeah.
Like I know that like a lot of people have been positive on that, like thinking that it's gonna be pretty good, and early like test screenings have been pretty good or something like that. Like
they're always good. I mean, they had a standing ovation for Batman v Superman.
Yeah, I know. Like I really think it's gonna be bad. I think Aquaman's gonna be more of my man, and I think that like Wonder Woman or like the best one out of all of these is probably gonna be Wonder Woman 2, and that's gonna be. Like,
I mean, it's got
the first Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna get all the praise in the world. It's gonna be like a 90. I couldn't stand that, honestly. The whole. Yeah. It's one of the best superhero movies ever, and I'm like, it is not. It is a subpar Captain America.
Yeah, and like even Captain America: The First Avenger was a better film as a whole than.
Oh, by far. You had a character you actually liked. That's the thing. I don't understand why people talk about Wonder Woman like she's this great character. I'm like,
she doesn't really. She just is.
She just well, I don't mind that so much. It's the whole. She has some endearing moments. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of moments where I'm just like, I can't stand you. Just how like, and it's not. It's just how she looks down. It's the problem I had with Superman. It's the whole I'm a god and I'm looking down on you. It's like, oh, that's relatable. You know, it's like what? No, you get a Captain America who's like, I'm gonna fight for people anyway, and I'm gonna be the good. You know, it's like you can root for people like that. You know.
Yeah, it's like, and like that's why I like Captain America is because like he is the everyman, you know. He's the everyman good guy. He's the ideal, but he's not the ideal god.
Right, and you get. I mean, even with gods like Thor, you know, he's still, you know,
great.
Yeah, he still does. He still cares about people and wants to fight for people. You know, even he doesn't feel superior to anyone. In the whole movie, I felt like she thought she was superior to everyone around her, and I'm like. Yeah. You might be, but I don't like you. You know, it's like also, if you act superior, you know.
Something that always turns me off too is my favorite character in that movie was Steve, and he's the second.
Same.
He's the side character, and so like when my favorite character is the sidekick, I know that it's not going to be a super great film. You know, like he was my favorite character. His sacrifice was great. You know, he was the relatable one.
Yeah, I don't honestly think, and I mean for me personally, I Gal Gadot is serviceable at best. And I mean, nothing. She doesn't do a bad job at all. And I know, like when she first got cast, people were like, "Oh, she's too skinny." I don't have a problem with her. I think she looks the part, no problem. It's just like nothing. There was no moment that really stood out to me with her, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's necessarily her fault. I just don't think, you know.
Again.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah. So I'm not really looking forward to any of these DC movies. I'm just kind of like.
No.
Reboot it. Like, even if the Batman happens, I'm like, no.
Okay, I would go see that.
I'll go see it. I'll go see all of these.
No, I won't. I'm not seeing Shazam. I'm not seeing Aquaman. I won't see Wonder Woman 2.
We're doing a podcast.
For
This is what happens. Plus, you have another podcast. You have to see it for that one. So now you have.
I know. I do. Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, God. I had to watch Jessica Jones season 2.
Yeah.
The whole way through. I hated it. Hated it. Oh man,
got out of that one.
Regret, so much regret.
Yeah. All right. So some like not superhero movie news. Tessa Thompson was cast in the new Men in Black movie. We're not sure if it's like a sequel or a reboot or whatever, but along with Chris Hemsworth. because they had like good chemistry in Ragnarok, I guess.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah.
And, Spielberg said that Indiana Jones 5 is filming in April of 2019.
Is he aware that like Harrison Ford's gonna die long before that?
I don't think
Like
so.
like he's
But
108
also,
years. He's 108 years old. You know.
Spielberg's also old, so.
Yeah, I think they're just pushing it off until one of them dies, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, we can't do it now." I don't think anyone. I don't think anyone. Yeah.
We've had this conversation before, but like, why don't they just reboot it with somebody else?
Yeah.
Because like Indiana Jones does not revolve around Harrison Ford.
Yeah, no, agreed. We had a whole conversation about who would make a really good Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Like I think we landed on like.
I think we said Chris Pratt was the obvious one.
Yeah. But, I think we landed on
Gosling.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, Gosling would do a good job as well. We also said, what's his face that plays Rocky? No, not well. Gyllenhaal would be good, I think, too. But what's his face that plays Rocky Raccoon?
Yeah,
I know.
Bradley
Cooper. Where you said Bradley Cooper would do a good job too. Just kind of like the classically handsome, rugged men type thing, and then just get one of them, and then.
There's so many really good actors out there though that can play Indiana Jones, and I think play it well. Like, I don't understand why they're hanging on to Harrison Ford. And with Blade Runner 2049, which I love that movie. Harrison Ford gave a great performance, but it was an amazing change of pace because it wasn't based on him again. And frankly, his character in the first one is really boring.
But he's also playing.
They made a really interesting character for the second one while including that character that Harrison Ford played in the first one as to make it Blade Runner, and he was really good in this one, far superior acting to the first one.
And I think with that character from Blade Runner, at least he's playing a detective, a detective who wasn't particularly skilled at fighting to begin with,
detecting.
Or detecting. He's kind of garbage at his job. You're the best one out there, and I'm like, how is this guy not dead?
I do not have any other guy.
I know. With that, you can play an older guy can play him. You can do an old version of him and be like, that's fine. Indiana Jones is an action hero. Indiana Jones, right? They tried it already. It doesn't work. Indiana Jones, right? Indiana Jones is the hat, the jacket, and the whip. That's what Indiana Jones is. And you need to,
I don't understand why they haven't turned Indiana Jones into the American James Bond.
They should, and I think they will eventually.
Because it's like James Bond, is the suit, the gadgets, whatever. He's not the face. That's what Indiana Jones is. Indiana Jones is the hat, the jacket, the whip. He's not the face.
It's a story about going to exotic locations and seeing really cool things and hunting after an archaeological find and punching Nazis, and more importantly, punching Nazis, because we all love that. I want more Nazis punched. That's what I'm asking. I don't want to see a movie that could take place the same year that Raiders of the Lost Ark came out. Yeah, although in a heartbeat, I would watch an old, confused Indiana Jones sitting down watching Raiders of the Lost Ark and just loudly commenting over things that are happening.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
I would watch that movie in a heartbeat. Just them going, what? Huh? He's just standing. So the whole it's just Raiders with him standing up, casting a shadow, and pointing out things and being like, "Was that a gun?" And I'm like, "Yes, please, more of this. I want more of this."
Yeah. All right. So, I think we can jump into our one of our possibly two topics today.
Sure.
Because we've got the Avengers trailer, and then I saw Tom Raider.
You saw Tomb Raider. Yep.
So yeah, there's a lot of news for Avengers Infinity War. Obviously the trailer itself, but then there's a lot of Kevin Feige talking, the Russo brothers talking. So do you want to start with the talking or the trailer?
Let's go with the trailer real quick. Let's let people. Everyone's seen it. We don't need to recap what happens in it. Yeah. Let's just talk about one or two stand-up moments from the trailer that we really liked. And I think I'll get it out of the way because everyone's gonna bring it up. Cap holding Thanos' glove.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I want to talk about this a little bit because do you think that he's powered somehow by something else?
I think he has. I personally. Or at least I want him to. I don't know if he will, but I want him to have one of the Infinity Stones. I want him to have the Soul Stone or something.
I honestly don't think so. I think the purpose of that shot is that he doesn't have anything. He's just Captain America, and the whole purpose is I think that is at least in this movie the finale of his character, because that's the climax in the comics too, is him facing off against Thanos, and he's just there the epitome of what humankind wants to be, and he's just standing there like, trying his best, and he still fails.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like that, but at the same time, I really want him at least to give a good show for himself. So for me, Cap is my favorite character by far.
Oh yeah.
He's your favorite
character ever in
all of cinema. In all of cinema. Oh, I don't know.
No, I said Cap is your favorite character.
No, it's probably I don't know, Howard the Duck.
Yes.
By far.
Anyway,
by far.
And
nothing new, Howard the Duck. Not get that nonsense out of here. I like George Lucas, weird Muppet. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. That's on a podcast. That's going to be out there forever now. Me agreeing to duck boobs.
We're doing really great with the first episode.
Oh, it's going great. Yeah, absolutely. I want Cap to have a good showing for himself. So I'm like, I want Cap. Everyone else is falling around by the wayside around him. Cap gets the Soul Stone and proceeds to beat the ever-living crap out of Thanos. Still loses, but give like a good showing for himself. Other than I'm going to hold on to this glove for like 4 seconds, and then I'm going to die horribly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's me.
Like, I think he's gonna die in this film, though.
Oh, same, 100%.
But we'll get to that because there's a lot of Feige talked a lot about death.
Yeah.
Other moments. Characters meet.
Yeah. Yep. I kind of wish they hadn't shown that. I feel like that's kind of like a magical moment that should have been reserved for the film itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about Tony's suit?
I think it's about time. We've been waiting for a bleeding edge. We thought it was in Civil War, and it wasn't. So it's really cool that they have the bleeding edge finally, and we've moved to the point where it can kind of form into whatever. So
yeah, and I like that. It's the proof of what the Wakandas were saying in Black Panther, where it's like the world's getting close to our super nanotechnology anyway. Because a lot of people have been theorizing that maybe it's the Wakandan tech. I don't think so. I think that's just Tony playing around with inventing in his basement, and that's what they're talking about when they say the world has gotten really close.
Yeah, it's almost like I almost feel like he it might even be that he found out about Wakanda and he went, oh, I bet I can do that too, and just kind of did a thing,
Yeah, so. He created another element.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I like that. By the way, it's really cool when you think about it. There's a theory out there that I don't think it's too far-fetched that what's powering his reactor is based off of the space gem, the Tesseract. Oh. Because it was his father's notes, and that's why Loki couldn't control him in Infinity War and Avengers, because it's comic book rules, but the Infinity Gems can't affect each other; they counter each other out. So it wasn't just because he has a piece of metal there; it's because he actually has an Infinity Gem pretty much in his chest.
So I think that's probably coming out of the theories that have been coming out because they showed promo images and Iron Man's on one of the stones.
Yeah. So yeah, that's neat.
I'd be cool with that.
Yeah.
Although it'd be weird for Thanos to rip the thing out. But also, he doesn't have it in his chest anymore.
I thought he did. I thought there was a shot where he had it in his chest again for some reason.
I think he has a compact version on his chest, as part of his shirt or jacket or whatever. Because I think the suit comes out of the shirt or the jacket. But
okay.
Iron Man 3 gets it taken out.
I know he does, and that's why I saw a few images and I was going, does he have it back? What's going on here?
Maybe just put it back because it's like this.
He was just like, it's convenient, and he just shoves it back in his.
I think it's in the jacket.
Yeah, shoves it back in the gaping hole that has to be in his chest now.
Yeah.
Has anyone thought about that? There's just gonna be a gaping wound there.
It's so deep. I was watching Iron Man because I was reviewing it.
You got you have an infection, dude.
His whole hand in there.
Yeah. You died of an infection a long time ago. Let's be honest, man. You don't have to worry about,
especially if he made that cavity in a cave.
Yeah, in a dirty cave somewhere in the Middle East with
rusty scalpels and everything.
Oh my God, yeah, but first off, it was made by a doctor. The first one was made by a doctor who was just like, I'm just gonna scoop out these things. I hope it works out. That
lung's not useful.
Can't have that. Yeah, no, he dies. He dies a long time ago from infection. He's going for his first thing, and the suit's flying off, and he dies in the infection.
That movie. Anyway, that's a movie. Oh, anyway. So do you want to talk any more about? Do you want to theorize anything, or do you just want to kind of go into what people are saying? Because, I think a lot of what people have been theorizing and, probably what we've been theorizing will be brought out from what Feige and the Russos have been saying. So,
yeah, let's talk about what they're talking about, because I think it's all.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I might be with you on the Feige stuff. I don't think the Russos are lying though.
I agree. I think Feige, the whole thing, all deaths are permanent. I'm like, yeah. I don't believe this for 1 second. Yeah.
First off, this and eventually, Avengers 4 will be the end of this MCU.
Yeah.
Which Feige's talked about a lot. He's basically said this will bring the first 22 movie arc of the entire MCU to a close, and then after that, movies will still happen, but things will be changed. And I want to know what you think that means.
If I had to guess, just based on everything I've seen, 10-1 says that it's I think a lot of the main Avengers die in this one, or are sent away, or whatever. Because the next one, you notice you don't see a lot of Hawkeye or Ant-Man in these photos.
Yeah.
But you see a lot in the set photos for Avengers 4.
Yeah.
And the movie's working title is called, I think it's West Coast Avengers, or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be, or LA Avengers or something like that. I think it's going to be Thanos kills everyone, gets all the Infinity Gems. I think he leaves, something like that. And basically the B team, your Falcon, your War Machine, your Ant-Man and Hawkeye, they have to kind of come together and say, we have to beat this guy. We're not the best, but we're literally all that's left, so we have to try.
Yeah. And then
And then I think they beat him, yeah. And I think there's going to be some weird time traveling stuff going on, because we see Ant-Man is in the Battle of New York from the first Avengers.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
In this one.
No, I think that's in the next one. And then I think we see a much older Tony Stark as well. So I'm excited. To me, it looks like this is going to go in very weird, odd directions, and I'm all for that. If it's just I'd be disappointed at this point if we have one or two heroes die, and then they all shoot some lasers at Thanos, and then Thanos is like, no, then they get the gauntlet.
I think the Russos are smart enough not to do that.
Oh, absolutely. But there's also, I think, studio constraints and all that.
Yeah. I'm really excited too. But Kevin Feige said, there will be two distinct periods, everything before Avengers 4 and everything after. And obviously I think he said in somewhere else in this same interview that they're still gonna do Guardians of the Galaxy 3. They're doing a Black Panther sequel. They're gonna be doing Homecoming 2. So
yeah,
I think it'll be interesting how things are changed. And I'm with you that I think the main guys that have already gotten their 3 movies are gonna have a send off, because Feige mentions that a character story ending doesn't necessarily mean their death, and he references the Next Generation finale where Picard plays poker with the crew, and that's something a finale for his character or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think some are gonna die and be dead, and I think others of the core first Avengers are gonna die and stay dead, and I think the other ones are going to have kind of that send off.
So this is why I think that all death is a permanent thing is kind of garbage. I think for sure Cap's gonna die.
Oh yeah.
And I think, but he's confirmed to be on set for Avengers 4.
Well, it could be that he's in the Battle of New York.
That's true. Who knows? I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens.
I think because
we should. Oh, you know what we should do? We should on the podcast we should place bets. We should both present lists right before this comes out, and which we could have seen this together, but of course, you.
I can't. Okay.
Look, well, I don't know if we're can we talk about this? Well, who's gonna?
Well, no.
It's gonna be fine. Should we?
No.
Okay. Well, there was a chance, there was a possibility that for whatever reason, the two of us could have seen this film together, but due to the poor planning of Mr. Dante, that's not going to happen. And I'm we literally missed it by 2 days.
There's a reason.
I know there's a reason, but still, it was 2 days. 2 days. You were off by 2 days. We could have seen it together.
I'm sorry.
Just I'll drop everything. I'll drop everything I'm doing, and I'll drive up to wherever you live. I think you're in Alaska, wherever it is you live now. So
drive to Alaska.
Just drive to Alaska.
From where you are in.
From where I am in, yeah, I'm very excited. I'm making this podcast from my holding cell in North Korea. Very excited. They're very nice to me, except for the times that they're not. So, yeah.
All right.
But yeah, we could have watched. But anyway, before it comes out, we should put down a list of who we think is going to die, and whoever is closest will get a reward, or whoever is furthest will get punished. We'll work out what.
I'm down.
Yeah, we should do it. It'll be fun.
Do that.
Yep.
But yeah, like to quote Feige in what he was saying about that the killed off things, he said, I mean, I could always list off the characters we've killed in our movies that haven't come back, but the big ones, which I know they're looking at, I would just say yes, people need to be careful what they wish for.
Oh no.
No, like, all right, I'm gonna start that list of predictions of who's gonna be dead now, but I'm gonna finish it. Cap's dead, and he's dead because he mentioned, you know, the Star Trek Next Generation send-off thing. I don't think you can do that with Cap because it's in his character, his personality.
Yeah.
To always fight if he can, even if he's like old man Cap, you know. So I think for his character to have an ending, he has to be fighting to the end and die. And I don't
want him to die though.
I think the actor's done too.
Yeah,
like, he looks done. Like, I've seen him in interviews for this movie. He's so done. Like,
no, he earlier on he was talking about getting out, but ever since management changed and Feige and Marvel Studios separated from Marvel Comics and that sort of thing, he and a lot of the other actors have been a lot happier because they're actually treated like people apparently now, and actually got pay raises. So he's actually a lot more into it than people think he is because of some earlier interviews. Look, honestly, I love this Captain America. I want to see, I want to see Sebastian Stan as Captain America. I want to see, Falcon as Captain America. I don't want Steve Rogers to die. I'd be up for him being like Nomad. I'd be up for him being a different character, but still being around. You know.
See, I love this character so much. Like, his trilogy is my favorite trilogy in this Marvel universe. And overall, I think that some of his films are the best in the MCU.
Oh, by far. Yeah.
I want him to die, and I want him to die amazingly because then it's like it's a perfect finale. And like what I've been missing in films, especially superhero films, is a finale because they always just kind of keep grinding out, and eventually they get bad. And
that's true.
I want him to die a hero and die like well made, you know.
Yeah.
And like I think it's honestly like a good close to his character, and it's an awesome way to pass the torch to somebody else who's just getting into these bigger movies like Sebastian Stan, you know. I would love out of Falcon and Winter Soldier, I want the Winter Soldier to become Cap because I feel like that's more of a complete turnaround for his character because, you know, he starts as the bad guy in Winter Soldier, and, you know, he's trying to figure himself out in Civil War, and I think
he starts as Bucky in First Avenger. Yeah, he's got
you know what I mean?
Short hair.
He was turned into a bad guy and a weapon, and then like
he's on a train.
For him to come back and become
there's an explosion.
Zach.
Yeah.
Stop. But like for him to like come full circle and become Captain America, I would buy that.
Yeah.
Falcon's just kind of like this dude, and if he becomes Cap, I feel like he's just gonna be this dude with a shield, you know?
Okay.
And I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think like for a fulfilling, you know, next chapter for the character of Winter Soldier, I think he should be Cap.
Yeah, I agree. I think he should be Cap before Falcon. I don't want to see Steve Rogers die.
I think Falcon needs more growth too before he can become Cap.
Yeah, I'm completely okay with Falcon just being Falcon because Falcon is a relatively new character, so you can keep him around for a good long while and then have him be Cap later on.
He's part of that B list that, you know, is probably going to be part of the Avengers 4 thing, you know.
Yeah, so I'm cool with him. I'm cool with it going to Winter Soldier first and then to Falcon.
So next thing, Feige talked a little bit about Captain Marvel, and how, you know, it's set in the 90s. It's going to be like a 90s action film. And it's going to be Nick Fury's first superhero encounter, which will be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're going to get a young actor, if they're just going to get Sam Jackson.
Nick Fury, it looks the exact same.
Well, I mean, make up him to look a little younger, but I mean, it is only the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 28 years ago.
Yeah, no. That's fine. Sam Jackson looked relatively the same back then.
You're not wrong, you know.
Like, I don't know, but like that aside, I think it would be interesting to see Fury dealing with his first superhero encounter.
Yeah.
And I'm digging a '90s action film. Like,
Yeah, same.
What I'm curious though is how they're gonna introduce Captain Marvel, because like she's only in 4 now, right?
Yeah.
She's not in this one. Yeah. What I think's gonna happen is they're gonna time travel all over the place, and they're gonna pick her up from the '90s.
Maybe, yeah. That'd be kind of fun if we're watching her movie and all of a sudden at the end, like even a post-credit scene, she's just, hanging out, whatever, and all of a sudden someone steps through a portal, like, yeah, we need your help, and like grabs her and pulls her into the portal and it shuts, and you're like, wait, what? And then,
yeah, I think it'd be great too, because it's like it explains why she's not around for like, the Battle of New York or whatever,
Do you think that I figured she just didn't age, but I think that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah,
do you think we're gonna see?
I think she probably ages slower too, kind of like Cap, but like I just kind of think like it'd be interesting for her to be pulled from the past, to be another like kind of Captain America situation.
Yeah, and honestly, and going back to Captain America, I'm like, I really, really, really don't. I want to see more of the character. I feel like the 3 movies we had with him isn't enough. It is enough in a way, but it's also I just want to keep seeing more.
Thing too is like I
like he's the most likely
way when he's a really good character, and I'm with you, man. I really want to see more of this character, but I don't want him to get bad. And the Russos will always be around to make amazing Captain America movies.
That's
true. I don't trust anyone else with him. So
yeah, and here's the thing too: is it's ironic because he is. I think generally speaking, he is the best hero in terms of just content wise. If that makes sense. He's the best. He's had the best movies and everything else. And I just think. And he's the one that everyone expects to die. Like we've been expecting him to die over and over and over and over and over again because he's Captain America and Captain America dies.
Yeah.
But then everyone else dies. Everyone else dies too, though. That's something I'm laughing at. So everyone's like, "Oh, it's Captain America. He dies." But Iron Man has died and Thor has died. So why don't we all fixate on Captain America dying for whatever reason?
Yeah, but like also something else too is I feel like his character is the most complete now. Like out of all the main Avengers that have been around since Phase 1. I feel like the characters that have like had the most growth and kind of come into their own enough to where I'd be okay with them finishing just because I love their arc is him and Tony.
Weirdly enough,
been around for forever.
Yeah,
and Cap has had such an awesome arc in his character. Over, this first film that I don't think he needs more.
Yeah, weirdly enough, I completely disagree. I think that because Iron Man was like, "Oh, I am Iron Man. I don't need the suits," and that was his resolution. And Thor was like, "I am the hammer. I need the hammer." And then he's like electricity and all that. So both of them kind of had their resolutions. But with Captain America, he was like, "Oh, I'm not Captain America anymore, and now I'm sad, and I'm just gonna walk away." And I'm like, I feel like he has the least resolution. Like we find him at this point. He's he's kind of like a broken man because I think the rest of them started as broken people. Not Thor. I think Iron Man started as a broken person and worked his way to completion. I think Thor had to be broken, came back, and has gone through his arc, and I think he had a good resolution. Cap was always kind of like this. His movies have systematically broken down his belief system. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, that's why
he hasn't become a fuller person. He started out good, and his beliefs have just been constantly. Basically, the world is constantly letting him down. He's still the same person. The world is constantly letting him down. That's where he's at now.
All right. I mean, okay,
lost faith in everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just maybe I just enjoy seeing his belief system disappoint him. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, I love it too. I'm just saying, that's why I don't want him to die, because I'm like, I feel like we're at a point where I need one more movie with him alive, even like a solo film, like even like a Nomad film. Just call it Nomad. Have Steve Rogers.
I would love. Okay, I'm a little more on board with this if they give him a Logan treatment for like a final film.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with him dying in a last film, so long as because we're in a really weird spot with him right now, where I'm like, he's really down he's really down in the dirt, and I want to see him get that resolution. I want him to be like, I am the Shield, because the rest of them get to be Iron Man and the Hammer. So I want him to kind of be like, get that final resolution. Instead he's like oh, I'm not
the Shield back.
Yeah, or not even that, but just like comes to terms with everything. But also, he is a man out of time, I suppose. So if anyone's gonna die,
I'd be down for that. I'd be down for a Logan treatment of him.
Yeah, same.
Like a final Logan film.
Yeah. Like he doesn't have to be old. It's it's him alone, and for whatever reason, and it all depends on where this movie goes. So
yeah, and
yeah,
also like if he ends up in Avengers 4,
yeah,
where that goes.
yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the villain, because Feige and the Russos have talked a lot about him. Feige kind of gave some backstory about him. He said, he's from a planet Titan. It's no longer inhabited because of things that he couldn't prevent, and he wasn't like allowed to like fix it or whatever for whatever reasons.
Sure.
So what he feared most happened, and the planet and everybody on it basically went extinct. He vowed not to let that happen, and he thinks he sees the universe going down the tubes, so he sees life expanding and thinks that that'll bring ruins to the life that he's trying to like protect.
Sure.
So his mission is to save half the universe by killing the other half, and that's why he's all about balancing the universe half by killing half of it in the trailers and everything.
Sure. So he's an extreme environmentalist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Feige said like that's either genius or horrific depending on your point of view. So like I think it's really interesting. And then the Russos said they were posed with the question of who has the most screen time in this film, and they said hands down Thanos.
Yeah.
They said like he's a threat in previous films, but he wasn't developed in any way to this point. Thanos has an incredible amount of screen time in this film. In a lot of ways, I would say it's his own movie. Our job when we make these films and what we feel is important is to surprise the audience. And so what they wanted to do was take a story that audiences weren't expecting and basically tell Avengers 3 from the point of view of the villain, which they felt was a really unique and risky way to do this kind of film. And I think that like the audience is ready for that kind of a film. That's something that's different, flipping the genre on the head.
Flipping the genre on the head, yeah.
I think it's really good that they're focusing on the villain personally, because it's like we haven't had a great Marvel villain since Winter Soldier.
Since ever. I'd argue Vulture. Vulture's pretty good.
Well, yeah, Vulture, but like,
you can't have Thanos be a down in his luck dad who the guy got screwed over by the government, and he's just like, well, I'm just gonna kill everyone. It doesn't exactly work.
I'm totally okay with him having the most screen time in this film.
Oh, same.
And like having a backstory,
Yeah, I mean, so long as they don't make him. I feel like we've kind of missed out on this idea that we can have a villain that we just don't like. We can have a good villain that's just bad. You don't have to make all the good villains sympathetic.
Yeah.
They tend to be the best because they actually think about their character in some way, shape, or form. But you can just make a really just bad, villain that the audience loves to hate type thing. And I don't think we've seen that. I think we've seen bad villains that the audience don't care about. I would love to see a villain that's just awful. Walks into the room, starts killing our favorite heroes, and we're going, no, get him. So yeah.
Yeah, but I'm also okay with this.
Yeah, I think so too. I think either or works, but
I think it'll be interesting, and I'm really excited to see where they take it. What was interesting too is they said who the second most screen time was, like who the hero with the most time is, and
it's Cap. What?
It's Thor, which I was surprised by.
All right.
And they said, quote, I think you'll find that Thor has a really interesting arc in this film. He hasn't been at the forefront of other Avengers movies, but he certainly has a very important role in this film. So I'll say Thanos and Thor.
Really?
I'm intrigued by that because I'm like,
that's really. Do you think?
It's like we haven't really seen Thor do much in the trailer, so I'm like, what is he doing?
Maybe he has the Soul Stone, or if maybe he finds the Soul Stone.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, all we've seen him do in the trailers is have his little head crushed by Thanos, and then probably thrown out into space.
Right.
Catch up with the Guardians, and then start making a new hammer because he is the hammer, actually.
He's the god of hammers. He's like, Odin's like, are you Thor, god of hammers? And he's just like, yeah, that's exactly what I am. And he goes, oh, and then he gets stabbed and killed. So new version of the film.
So I'm like, I'm confused because I'm like, first of all, out of the big three, he's the one with the most recent solo film.
Yeah.
Great. And then like he's forging another hammer. Maybe he found the Soul Stone. He's putting it in the hammer. Like,
well, the hammer's not gonna last very long. Then is. I'm making this one. This one's gonna last forever. It's like, all right.
Well, like, I don't understand. Like, I'm glad I don't understand because it's probably a big plot point in the movie. But like, why does he need to reforge his hammer? And why is he out, doing that stuff? And most of all, why is he the one with the most screen time?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's really, I didn't know about that. That's really weird. I'm kind of excited, actually.
Yeah, I'm intrigued, and I'm like, I really hope he does have an interesting arc, because really, out of the other two Avengers, he's been at the back with Hulk as far as arcs, and even like Hulk had an interesting arc in like Avengers 2. So
well, I mean, yeah, remember in Avengers 2, Thor went to a pool and he got electrocuted, and he was like, and they're like, this is Ragnarok, and then Taika Waititi showed up and said, yeah, but also this could be Ragnarok, and they did something completely different. Yeah, I think so. Now I'm personally a big fan of darker movies, so I would love to see a more serious take on these films.
But a blast with Thor too.
I did, absolutely, but I was kind of sad that they took Ragnarok and kind of made it a comedy, because I'm like, I would have loved if you had done that for the second one, which they didn't. They tried to make it more serious, and the second one didn't work. But Ragnarok could have been a really, really cool dramatic film.
Yeah, but I think there was a good direction given that 2 was better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was the only option you had at that point. Saying if you retroactively go back to and redo the second one as well, then Yeah. But it is what it is.
But yeah, I mean, I'm interested. And that's all the talks that they've been doing.
Yeah. Has anyone gotten their hand cut off in a while?
I don't think so.
I guess that trope is done then. Sad day.
Thanos gets his hand cut off, and that's how they get the Infinity Gauntlet.
No, 10-1. They're like, they do what they do in the comics. Do you know how they beat him in the comics?
Yeah, they're like, bet you can't beat us with it off, and he's like, haha, all right. And he
he's like,
off, and they just
I'll show you, and they're like,
oh, darn.
Yeah, they're like, woo, snatch, and he's like, I fell for that. Dang it!
I really hope that's not it.
I want that to be exactly what happens. That'd be amazing.
I'm really interested in his character though. Like I'm invested, and I think it's gonna be really good.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, like the little bits that he's had in the trailers, I'm like really into. Like he's like, I hope they remember you, and I'm like, yeah, that's a good line. Like I'm into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I have some news.
What news?
It is confirmed, and I'm going off my other podcast, so they better not let me down. It seems to be confirmed, and take this with a grain of salt, because I am getting this from Tony from the Weekly Nerd podcast that I am on as well. So take this with a grain of salt. It looks like Silver Surfer is confirmed to have a cameo in Avengers 3.
I heard that. I heard
it was a rumor.
I heard it was a rumor. I didn't know it was a thing.
But apparently now they're saying that Klendin or Clendenin, however you say that, I'm butchering it, looks to be the actor to play Silver Surfer.
Do they have the rights to him? Maybe they finalized the deal.
They do. They as far as we know, they have the rights.
Well, like how? Because Fox has him. Did they like finalize it and not tell anyone yet?
I mean, the deal's going through, so they might even work out like, hey, the deal's going through. Can we use this? They've done stuff like that. They didn't have the rights to Ego the Living Planet. They worked out a deal and switched characters. So, and no one knew they did that till way later. So.
But why though? Because like in the Infinity War.
Well, here's my thing.
The heralding guy is Silver Surfer, but it looks like that character in this movie is Bruce Banner.
Here's the thing. This is why I think if this is true, and if it's true, it's going to be pretty late into production. It'll be like a motion capture thing. I think it's going to happen at the end of the film as like a post credit. Here's why. Okay. This is my theory. This is my personal theory. I think that the thing that Thanos is scared of, and the thing that Thanos is trying to equal out the universe, the reason he's trying to cull the universe is because he's trying to starve Galactus. Really? I think Galactus is the villain after this one. Really? Or he's trying to stop Galactus.
So, and then that's kind of part of he's a good guy.
Because it's not just, he's not terrible. He's just like, look at what killed Titan? Because in the past it was him. So I'm like, it's not just a natural disaster. Because how's that to do with population? Large populations, powerful populations draw Galactus.
Doesn't he eat the planet though?
He eats the life of the planet.
Dude.
This would be amazing. This would be great. Yeah, no, right? So it would be awesome if it's like the Silver Surfer shows up in the credit scene and just to be like, something's coming. And it's like, oh no. And he needs this, Thanos needs the Infinity Gauntlet and try to beat Galactus because there's no chance otherwise.
What if in Avengers 4, instead of beating Thanos, they're just like, hey, dude, take this Infinity Stone, go beat this guy.
Yeah, no, it would be really cool.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Dude,
I'm in, dude.
First hot scoop. Not really, but...
I am breaking it to my fellow podcasters. I am on a second podcast.
Are they like mad? Are you refired?
There is some questioning going on. So I was already fired. I was fired last week. So there we go.
Well, I told Tony that I was starting a podcast. I just didn't say that you were in it.
Yeah.
I'll let you break that news.
Yeah. Well, I just did. So there you
go. No, but dude,
I hope it's real.
Now.
I hope this is a real thing. Just take all of this with a grain of salt, obviously.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I'm hoping, dude. I'm really hoping.
Hope so, but I don't think so.
Just let me. I want to believe. That's all.
I believe.
Well,
maybe that's why they go time traveling and everything. Like, hey, we got to fight Galactus. Let's get all the superheroes ever.
Right. I mean, that's. Yeah, I mean, how do you beat Galactus though? And then you can bring on the you can
X-Men.
No, you can bring in this Fantastic Four.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and actually do it right this time.
Dude, I'm down.
And then have Chris Evans play the Human Torch all over again.
Yes.
Yep. I'm in.
I'm in.
And then Shia LaBeouf can play the thing.
I want this to happen now.
Oh yeah, me too.
It's like Avengers. Like the fourth one's title is just Avengers Galactus.
Yeah, no, I mean the fourth one is not going to be. I don't think it's going to be Galactus. I think that's going to be the challenge for the next generation. So I think it's going to be like the seventh Avengers or whatever it is. You know, the next arc.
Well, that'd be weird though because like Feige's saying, you know, there's everything before Avengers 4 and everything after. It'd be weird if they carried like a big element through.
No, I think that's what you need to do. You need to kind of keep people kind of going. You know.
Yeah, but if they're soft rebooting the universe,
I don't think they're going to soft reboot. Honestly.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe the way he's talking about like bringing this to a close is just that their tease of Thanos from the first Avengers is going to
right. I mean, that's kind of been the whole arc from the very beginning. You know, it's kind of been the Infinity Stones, and that's only one comic arc. We kind of forget that. That's only one element in the comic. And then, I mean, we've already set up bigger entities like Dormammu. We've set up the Celestials.
Dormammu if you just annoy him to death.
Right, apparently it's great. You know, we have the Celestials. You know, that could be a big bad. So I think Thanos, not Thanos. Galactus is a part of the Celestial family.
Is he?
Yeah,
because the Celestials so far have been like pricks.
He's there partially to keep the universe in check, but he's also there to he has to feed, so he feeds on it could be easy enough to say that he feeds on planets with high populations, high power, you know. Yeah, if that makes sense. So
maybe that's why Galactus went to kill Earth, because they're getting really powerful.
Maybe that's what's happening.
Dude, I'd be down.
Yeah, I mean, I want it to happen. I don't want Silver Surfer to show up and be like, "Hey, Thanos is coming," and just disappear. Forget that. I want to see him come down and be like, "There's something worse on the way."
Yeah, like.
And then we get a giant cloud, like from the second Fantastic Four movie. Instead of the giant person, we get a giant cloud.
Dude, just like Green Lantern.
Yes, okay, I'm in. And Ryan Reynolds plays Galactus. He's just a face in the cloud, and that's it.
Giant CGI purple suit.
Yes, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. No, I'm in, man.
Yeah. I'm in to have them fight a giant monster. I'm up for that. Yeah.
And that's your non-sympathetic villain that's just a bad guy.
Well, yes and no, because they might turn around and be like, he has to eat the world because he's stopping a bigger threat, which is a thing. That's a real thing. He's stopping a bigger threat. So.
All right. We'll see.
Yeah.
Question: are we gonna force ourselves to go see Pacific Rim Uprising this week?
Yes, we are. Force? What are you talking about? This isn't forcing. Yeah, no. We're going to both have the pleasure of seeing Pacific Rim. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna cry. You know. But more importantly, I'm gonna watch giant robots hit giant aliens, and I'm gonna be real happy about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
At least you have different opinions on it.
Yeah, it's gonna be real great. You're gonna be like, I'm gonna come back and be.
I'm gonna be negative. This
no.
Is not gonna make sense.
Yeah. No. You're gonna come back and be like, it was the greatest thing ever, because it is the greatest. I'm so excited. Like, I'm a film snob any other day of the week, but you give me giant robots and I'm like, yeah, do this.
Just give us actual Gundam instead of like Gundam.
No. This.
All right, so we have to go see that. Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
I think that's it. I think that's the episode.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up for today. We'll see if we release this episode. We'll see. You know, kind of. Yeah. I'm really enjoying it. You really enjoying it?
Yeah, it's fun. It's just, it's also late and
trying to figure out
Tomb Raider too much. We'll
try to figure out how this podcast works. We're going to be doing in the future, but I think I'm going to really enjoy it. I think just talking to you, Dante, is going to be a lot of fun. So
yeah, dude, it's going to be a ton of fun.
Yes.
Yeah. So next week we'll come back with Pacific Rim Uprising, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And
all right.
I'll see you guys next week.